Hi, my name's Joe, also known as Crazy Joe. I don't really know where to start with this, so I suppose I better start at the beginning. In 2011, on the 7th of August, in the early hours, when I was 28 years old, I had a bad car crash in my Honda S2000. I'd fallen asleep, I hit the central reservation twice, went across all three lanes of the M3 near Alton, through a barrier and into a tree. I fractured my skull in two places, damaging the right hand side of my brain. I destroyed the nerve that controls the rotation of my right eyeball. Had a wound on my shoulder, a hernia, and a 3-inch tear to each labrum in like my hips. The damage to my hips wasn't really found until I went to Oxford, the Nuffield Clinic in Oxford in 2014, after a couple of trips to my local hospital for physio because I was complaining about my hips being sore as I recovered. The physio it was just very painful from the get-go, so I asked to go to Oxford to be looked at properly. They discovered I had a 3-inch tear in each hip. They operated on my right hip, removing the labrum and getting rid of a cam impingement and just reshaping of the head and, try and keep it working. I had the left repaired not long afterwards. They managed to keep the labrum, repair it, reshape the head and made it usable. And since then I've had a few operations on each hip, trying to keep them going, because when I first we first discovered how bad my hips were, they offered me a hip replacement and presented me with a list of limitations of things I'd never do again. And I wasn't prepared to cut my life short then. And since then, I started a martial arts school. I've done a lot of things they said I'd never do. But unfortunately now my hips have got to a point where it's no longer bearable. I had an operation in September 2024 to try and prolong the right hip a bit more. Unfortunately, it didn't go, the operation was successful, as in it, nothing went wrong, but their findings were level 4 arthritis and bony protrusions sticking out the cartilage on the ball of my hip. So in November, when I went back to see the consultant, I was put in for a full hip replacement, and that's now happening next Tuesday on the 13th of May. I'll be a liar if I said I wasn't absolutely bricking it, but it needs to be done. I can't do anything. I haven't been able to work since September. My hips are painful. It's just not viable. So I'm having a full hip replacement next Tuesday, and I'm going to document my recovery. I will take all the advice given to me by the consultants, from the outset after the hip's been changed. It's physio 3 times a day according to the pamphlet, so I'm going to smash that every day. I'm going to do everything I'm told to and more if I can. I need to get my fitness back up. I need to get back on bikes. I need to get back working. There's so much I want to do that I haven't been able to. Something's got to give, and the only way that I'm going to get through this is with hard work and dedication and putting the effort in to get through this. It's got to be done. I'm very nervous, but I want to get back mobile again. I want my flexibility back. I want to be able to move again and enjoy life to the fullest while I can. I'm 40. I think I'm 43 this time around. I'm born in 1982, so you know, it's just a number, but you know, time ticks, so I need to get back on it. So yeah, if you want to follow my journey, like and subscribe, and I'll post videos. I don't know how regularly I'll do it, if I'm honest. You know, I'm not the best editor in the world, but I'm getting the hang of it. You know, and the first couple of weeks of recovery are going to be difficult, and I don't know how much I'm actually going to be able to do in terms of sitting in front of a computer or doing stuff like that, but I will make sure I record what goes on, and yeah, we'll see what this is like. So the plan is, after the first op, after the first hip's replaced, hopefully 2 months after that I'll have the other one done, and I can really start to go for it. So yeah, like and subscribe if you want to join me on this double hip replacement journey, and seeing if we can get back to some martial arts and track days and enjoying life. I'll see you soon.